Welcome back to the channel. Today I want to share a very personal story about my teacher, Sifu Lee Shing. He's the man who not only brought Wing Chun brought. Welcome back to the channel. Today I want to share a personal story about my teacher, Sifu Lee Shing. He's the man who not only brought Wing Chun to the West, but also the master who shaped my path in martial arts and in life. Through this video, you will not only learn about Lee Shing's history, but also how his teaching influenced me, Austin Go, that's me, and how his legacy continues through every lesson I pass on to you. Who was Lee Shing? Lee Shing was born in 1923 in Foshan, Guangdong, China, the very cradle of Wing Chun. He studied under grandmaster including Yuen Kay San and later became a closed-door student of Yip Man himself. But Lee Shing was more than just a martial artist. Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. Today I want to share a very personal story about my teacher, Lee Shing. Hi everyone, welcome to the channel. Today I want to share a personal story about my teacher, Sifu Lee Shing. He's the man who not only brought Wing Chun to the West, but also the master who shaped my path in martial arts and in life. Through this video, you will not only learn about Lee Shing's history, but also how his teaching influenced me, Austin Go, that's me, and how his legacy continues through every lesson I pass on to you. Who was Lee Shing? Lee Shing was born in 1923 in Foshan, Guangdong, China, the very creator of Wing Chun. He studied under grandmaster including Yuen Kay San and later became a closed-door student of Yip Man himself. But Lee Shing was more than just a martial artist. He was a pioneer. In the 1950s, he moved to London, and there he became the first person to openly teach Wing Chun in Europe. That's why he's remembered as the father of Wing Chun in the West. Imagine this, at a time when Kung Fu was still secret, when Chinese masters kept the knowledge inside closed circles, Lee Shing broke tradition. He opened his doors to the world. Without him, Wing Chun might never have spread the way it did in Europe. So let me tell you the story how I met my teacher. My journey with Lee Shing began when I arrived in London as a young man. I was about 18 years old. I was searching for discipline, searching for strength, not just physically, but inside myself. When I first stepped into his school, I could feel the atmosphere was different. There was no showing off, no fancy talk, just discipline, humility, and real martial arts. So when I met him, it was like meeting a piece of history face to face. And the very first lesson I knew, this was the man I wanted to follow. His teaching style, Lee Shing had a very unique way of teaching. He didn't just give you techniques, he gave you the principles behind the techniques. If you ask him about a move, he didn't just show you the hand, he explained the energy, which I love so much, the timing, the purpose. He always said Wing Chun is not about copying, it's about understanding. So I remember how strict he was about the basic, Tan Sao, Bong Sao, Pak Sao. He made sure your form was correct before moving on. I was always frustrated, keep doing the same form over and again. But, as a young man, I was impulsive, I wanted to learn quickly. As time, it felt slow, as I said, frustrating. But later I realized this was how he built a foundation that lasts for life. And he didn't just teach fighting, he taught philosophy, patience, humility, respect. He always reminded us, martial art is not for hurting people, it's for building yourself. So I remember one of the greatest lessons he gave me was about discipline. I was young, full of energy, and sometimes too quick to rush. He always reminded me again and again, slow down, control first, speed later. I always remember this. Control first, get your foundation, then the speed will come. That lesson carried me not only in martial arts, but in many areas of my life, business, relationships, even my health. Another lesson was about adaptability. He showed me that Wing Chun is not rigid, it flows, it adapts to the situation. That's why he could apply the same principle whether teaching a student in London or facing an opponent in Hong Kong. And finally, he taught me gratitude. He's always said, you're part of a lineage. Don't forget where you come from. That's why today, whenever I teach, I honor him. Because without my Sifu Lee Shing, I would not be who I am today. Let's talk about Lee Shing's legacy. Lee Shing passed away in 1991, but his influence is still alive. Every student who learns from him carries a piece of his wisdom. But through me, his teaching had reached students all over the world, through classes, seminars, YouTube, and now, hopefully, we're going to build a school of the future that I'm building. So when you see Wing Chun in Europe, when you see students practicing in London, Paris, Berlin, Rome, even in New York, California, Washington, Hong Kong, Malaysia, Singapore, and even Japan. And I'm proud to say that I carry his teaching forward as part of that living lineage. So why did I want to share this story with you today? Because martial art is not just about punches and kicks. It's about lineage, about teachers, about the wisdom that is passed down from one generation to another. For me, Lee Shing was not only a Wing Chun master, he was a mentor, a guide, and an inspiration to me. And my responsibility is to keep his legacy alive by teaching you not just the techniques, but the principles, the discipline, and the respect he taught me. So, when you practice Wing Chun, you're not just training your body, you're connecting to a history that began in Foshan, passed through Yip Man, came to London to Lee Shing, and continues with me, Austin Go. And now, with you. Thank you for watching. If you want to hear more story about Wing Chun history and my personal journey, don't forget to subscribe and share this video with someone who loves martial art. Together, we keep the lineage alive. See you in the next video.